I'll walk you guys through on how to make this delicious keto-friendly vegan bread. This recipe is derived from another keto vegan YouTuber. I'll leave a link to her video down below, but I veganized it and it is so delicious. It is one of my staples when I do my keto situation, and I'm going to show you guys how to make it, so stay tuned to watch the full video. If you have any questions, please leave them down in the comment section, and let's get into it. Everything out. So we have our gluten flour, we have our sweetened alternative baking powder, sorry. We have our oil and water. We have our seasonings and our salt. We also have our yeast and our flax meal. We have our almond flour, and this is everything you're gonna need. The full recipe will be listed down in the description bar. And yeah, I pre-measured everything because it just makes life so much easier. This water is hot, so make sure your water is hot. So we're just gonna add everything to a dough mixer. If you do not have a mixer, you can use your hands, but because I have this, I'm gonna use it. So yeah, let's do this. Alright, so I'm gonna add all of the ingredients to the mixer. Make sure to sift all of your flour and stuff. I'm just gonna add everything in here. Yeast, the flax stuff. And this makes for easier cleanup, so I don't have to remember measurements and stuff. And again, as I stated, I'm going to list the recipe down below. We're just going to add in, let me start with the paddle top. We're just going to add in our water while this is going. So we're just going to lock it, turn it on, and let it kind of combine itself so everything can kind of get incorporated. You don't want, you want it to be evenly seasoned and yummy, So let that get together, and then while that's doing its thing, you're going to slowly pour in your oil-water mixture. And it's going to start to get nice and thick. You see? It's getting thick, like super thick. And that's what happens. I'm going to add a little bit more water, just a little bit. You might not need all the water, she said, so I just added as much until my dough, forms together. Now that it's all together, I'm going to switch to the dough hook because this is gluten flour. Gluten flour has to be knead, and with the amount of projects I've done today, I do not feel like kneading dough right now. So we're just going to knead this with the dough hook until it's nice and, when the gluten strands start to like pull apart and together, you'll see a nice consistency. So we're just going to do that. What I like to do is kind of take a spatula or a spoon and push the dough in so it forms like a nice little ball. But yeah, we're going to let this go for a couple minutes, and I'll show you guys what it looks like in a couple minutes. You guys see that? Go for a couple minutes. I'm going to show you guys what it looks like now. I'm going to turn it off. And we're going to lift it. And we're going to move this out of the way so you guys can actually see what the dough looks like. So this is what the dough looks like now, guys. It has this nice, you see those strands? That's what I was talking about. And it's just this cool texture. And if most vegans are familiar with the gluten flour. It creates this nice pull to it. So I am just going to let this go for a few more minutes, and then we're going to let it rise and all that good stuff. So I don't know if you guys can see those gluten strands, those little weird looking things. So that's how you know it's ready. You see the cool gluten strands, and I took it out and I formed it into a ball, kind of pulled it back on itself. And I pulled it back on itself and created this little situation in the back. And then I'm just going to let it rest on the counter for a couple minutes. And then I'll cover it, let it rest on the counter for about 30 minutes. And then I'm going to put it in the oven. My oven is set to 350 degrees, and then you're gonna bake it. I think she said for 30 minutes, but all the details will be down below, and I'll let you guys know what it looks like tomorrow. So today's the next day, and I've stored the bread in my little thing, my bread bag, and it looks amazing. Look at how good this looks, guys. Do you see this? Look at that texture. So that's the texture of the bread, and it looks and smells so good. Please give this a try. It's super easy to make, and it's so yummy. Like, I love this bread. I did slashes in it, and as you can see, I ate the ends off already. I used some of Miyoko's chive or garlic oat butter. Super yummy. So definitely give this a try. And yeah, the bottom looks great. Everything looks great, and it came out so beautiful. Definitely going to be one of my staple items for right now. So yeah.